Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul, joined by Robert Ziggy Ziegler out in California and Jack Weinberger. You know, I guess that's different from the way I've always done this for 5 years. I usually say Jack.
Yeah. It's because I'm in the middle of the screen for once instead of Jack being right next to you.
I know. I'm reading left to right here.
That,
I said it.
That threw me off. It is always Jack Weinberger and then
I-
Robert Ziggy Ziegler.
Yeah, I saw you throw up the peace sign, Jack, and I was like, oh yeah, like he's right on that. He's right on that. So
You said Ziggy,
that's
and,
on me.
I'm going like
that's
that.
on me. You know, after
Right,
5
right.
years, remember the episode of The Office where
All right, redo.
where Jim is training Dwight to like react to the sound of the computer sound by giving him like a mint, and at the end of the episode he hits the sound and Dwight sticks his hand out. He's like, "What are you doing?" That's what I just did with Jack after 5 years of saying Jack Weinberger. I finally got him. So yeah, fooled you.
It doesn't sound right.
No, it sounds weird. It sounds weird. So we have a pretty fun episode today, guys. We're going to run through kind of a myriad of topics towards the end of the show, or middle and end of the show. Some quarterback stuff, Jordan Love, some more rankings on Jordan Love and Caleb Williams are coming out that are all over the map, including from my boss, Colin Coward. And actually, I worked with Colin on Tuesday night. I was called in, relief pitcher, to help out on that show, and I wasn't too happy with one of the rankings he put out on the herd. We'll talk about that a little bit. Lamar Jackson plummeted. We didn't hit that too much in the top 10 quarterbacks, but we'll discuss that. Aaron Donald, Ziggy's favorite player of all time, looking like he's going to come back, which may have an impact on Ziggy.
And I might have an insider report on Aaron Donald.
Ziggy may have an insider report. If it has an impact on Ziggy's fandom, I'll be upset. Obviously, Ziggy wants to hit George Pickens near and dear to Jack's heart. So yeah, we got a bunch of topics towards the end of the show that we're going to hit. But first off, Jack, let me ask you, you're back. It's been about a week or so. You're out in California last week. Two big questions. One, how was the trip? How were the parks? Your favorite park you went to? And two, did you see Ziggy?
So I'll answer the first question first. California was great. It was very fun. I think I'm still a bit like jet lagged, still waking up a little bit. But we hit San Francisco, Oracle Park, which is beautiful. You see the whole bay in the background. The view's great. Then we hopped down to LA, Chavez Ravine. And I think just the lore of being inside Dodger Stadium, I was a little bit starstruck. It's Dodger Stadium. And then we hopped to San Diego. So it was busy. It was 3 cities, 3 nights, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So we had Oracle, Dodger Stadium, and Petco Park within 3 days. I would rank those 3. I'd say Petco was number 1. San Francisco was number 2, and then LA probably number 3.
Why didn't you go see the Angels?
3 new stadiums for me. I don't think they were at home. Believe me, we looked. I think they were on the road.
You might be the only person this year to look and try and see an Angels game.
But do you know what stinks though? So yeah, you're right. You know what stinks? We were in San Francisco the first night, and it's cool. I was at Fisherman's Wharf, and it was neat. We got lunch like on the water. But it's always so foggy there, so we couldn't see the Golden Gate Bridge. We saw the Bay Bridge, but it was too foggy to see the Golden Gate Bridge, which was a shame.
That's a shame. When we went to the Super Bowl, I didn't see the Golden Gate Bridge either. Amazingly,
it's overrated.
In San Francisco for.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, so a few of my friends were like, "Oh, can we go to the Full House house?" I'm like, "Guys, it's 2 miles away. It's just a house."
You don't go inside, right? Or like
no, you don't go inside.
No, you just walk around the Lower Pacific Heights and see it.
We saw our good buddy Paul. I saw Oliver Thursday night in San Francisco.
Soon to be tech billionaire Oliver.
Yes, we went for a drink. Saturday, LA, we saw Alex Weiner. He's been on the show before.
He has actually been on the. I was about to start saying, all right, you want to just list people no one knows, but he has actually been on the show.
He's been on the show once.
That's a good callback.
And then Saturday was awesome because we got Saturday we went to the game, and then Sunday we had a free day in San Diego. We went to the Mexico border. I saw all of Tijuana, which was neat.
Which everyone wants to say.
Went to La Jolla. I'm sure Ziggy knows what La Jolla is, right, Ziggy?
Why didn't you go to La Jolla? You're just listing places no one would want to go.
Well, I heard it's a touristy attraction. Oh,
I mean, it's like going to New Jersey and being like, I had such a great time at the Pine Barrens. Like, who cares about the Pine Barrens?
It was sick? Coronado Island.
That
was cool.
one I'll give you.
That was cool. That's where Manny Machado lives there. That was very nice.
I'm gonna
No.
Jack, I'm gonna totally expose you if that's okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if like who's listening to this that might get upset, but probably no one. I get a text, Ziggy, from Jack Saturday, 1:09 p.m. Central Time. Can you Zell me over like $100 from our PFS account for my last day in California? I stupidly spent $200 to get into a club yesterday in LA. And, you know, I tried. I looked at that message. I looked at that message at 1:09.
Did you debate saying yes, or was there, you know?
I was walking to meet my friend for lunch, and I saw that message, laughed out loud, and put my phone back in my pocket.
Well, I didn't need it. It was just precautionary.
I figured. And 6 hours later, I texted Jack, that's insane.
Yeah, Friday night it's this club called Zook. And, you know, when dudes show up without girls, you know, it's like they're going to charge you a little extra.
Should have showed up
with
Ziggy.
I know, but we're like, you know what? When in LA, whatever. So I know it was fun. And the part that everybody is curious about, the real reason I flew out to California to see Ziggy avoided me for 4 days.
Avoided Ziggy. So Jack knows where I live, right? He knows where I live, and so he's driving from Los Angeles, stayed in Beverly Hills, which is another reason why he needed $100 from the PFS show account for whatever reason. He's driving to San Diego. Anyone who's done that drive knows when you're driving through San Clemente, it's right off the freeway. When I mean right off the freeway, I mean on a slow day, it is 153 seconds from the freeway exit to where I live. That's the slowest it has ever been.
No, I looked at the map afterwards when I drove from LA to San Diego, and I realized I drove right by where Ziggy lives.
Because Jack didn't say things like when he was going through, what time it might be, what day it might be.
Well, that's funny because I think
let's hang out.
The first thing Jack did when he landed was text our group chat and say, Ziggy, where are you? You're not avoiding me for 4 days. And I guess Ziggy did it by basically daring Jack to be more proactive.
To say anything about his plans.
I will admit that,
which is genius, by the way.
Like me driving right through Ziggy's town without realizing it is a blunder on my
classic.
End. That's a blunder on my end.
Imagine Ziggy being in Jersey and he's like, "Hey guys, want to hang out?"
Oh, he's in Ramsey.
And then he drives by.
No, he drives by the town. Yes, that's what it was like.
It's Jack. I'm sorry. Did you say Petco Park was your favorite? The Padres.
Yeah, out of the three that I saw this weekend, I say
really? I would have guessed the Oracle Park.
Giants. I mean, Oracle was sick.
That just looks sick beyond the water.
You see the water and you can see Oakland's too from Oracle Park. But I liked Petco.
When you were at Petco Park, Jack, did you see a big hole in the side of Petco?
A big hole in the side of Petco.
One of the people my dad's works with, like my dad's company supplies the like paper goods. The company he works for, they supply like the food service goods that for Petco. And one of their guys backed a truck into Petco Park, just like straight up backed into it. And my dad said, it makes sense. You know, Petco Park's really small. I can see how you missed it. So there's a big hole in the side of Petco Park right now. That's all I'm saying.
Really?
Brutal.
That's funny.
You know, I do have to say, guys, and don't worry, we'll get into football here in a little bit. There's time markers for anyone who doesn't want to listen to the.
You know what's funny?
Please.
You know what's funny is I went to a Dodger game, right? I've always wanted to go to a Dodger game in LA. Finally got there, and they lost by 7 runs.
The best team in baseball.
And the best team in baseball lost by 7 runs. They actually got swept that series at home.
And like, so not just a little swept. The other game was what, 9-3?
Oh, first, I mean, they got murdered. They got murdered by the Diamondbacks. And I think just me being in Dodger Stadium that weekend, my bad luck might have screwed the Dodgers and saved baseball. I think I might have saved baseball and turned the Dodgers bad.
Well, that same weekend, the Pirates were sweeping the Brewers, so maybe you're onto something.
I was across the country, and the Pirates murdered the Brewers 3 straight games. Yeah.
So
remove yourself. Go to Europe.
If I go to Europe, the Pirates are World Series champs.
They will. Yeah, Pirates, Steelers. Your parlay will hit. What's your parlay? Pirates.
Pirates to win the World Series and Steelers win the AFC.
With Notre
You're
Dame.
not going to throw a Premier League team you don't care about in there and then say they're your favorite team, even though you don't know any of the players.
You're right. No, at Notre Dame. At Notre
Dame. Okay, so I do want to say I think I should call myself out here because if I, try to expose Jack right there, which is my bad, Jack, for the $200 club text.
Oh, I'm not ashamed. Like I would have loved some extra dough from the PFS for this California weekend.
My streak of showing up on time to start the show ended today. Unfortunately, it was a good run from
today.
A few weeks ago.
It was a couple weeks. It was a couple weeks.
It was a few weeks, but I got caught up at a volume dinner. And hey, let me say, good things happening at the volume over where I work. Do you guys know at the dinner I was at today? Not dinner, it was a happy hour. I was the longest tenured person at the volume there.
You've been there almost since it started.
It was really funny. I was talking with one of my bosses, and I think it was founded in 2020 in like the summer or something around that. Like the concept of it, and then launched in 2021 February, and I had my interview in April or May, and then joined in June. But yeah, it's funny. Like there's like 75 people now, and I'm like, this is when I joined there were 12. And so I'm there today with 20 or 25 people that most of them I've never met before. And I talked with one of my buddies, and he's like, I think you've been here. My boss. He's like, I think you've been here the longest of anyone here. I was like, well, all right, let's bump up these titles then. But no, it was good seeing everyone. So my bad for being late. All right, we're gonna start.
A fine excuse though. It's a good reason.
Yeah, we're just networking for the show.
If that's true.
Start real quick with it is true. It is true. With just a quick World Cup prediction for the final here. I don't know if you guys watched today. Much in the same way that Jack saved baseball, my attachment, rooting for England, right? As everyone knows, rooting for my heritage, which I've gotten a lot of flack for on this show. I think it actually cost England today. Because much in the same way that the Vikings collapsed time and time again, I do think that England had a very Viking-like finish today, giving up 2 goals. And when you guys say it's very Viking-like to give up 2 touchdowns to lose a game, like to lose the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game, England gives up 2 goals, final 15 minutes, knocked out of the World Cup, and I actually was pretty upset.
Paul, I'm gonna say something that risks demonetizing our show.
We've said
watching
before.
England versus Argentina. I understood how observers felt during World War II when they were watching Stalin and Hitler go at it. So it's like, I don't want either of these teams to win. They both have a terrible history. I suppose I'd rather England win because at least they're like slightly less bad. But like, this is watching. And then you've got Pol Pot France on the other side, who fortunately was eliminated. But it's
who I've been
saying for a while.
Compared to one of those people you just referenced.
My 3 least favorite teams by a country mile were playing in the semifinals. So Vamano Spain, we got to go out and get it because I cannot stand watching Argentina win a World Cup.
So I fell asleep in the final 20 minutes of this game. At like the 80th minute mark, I passed out on the couch. I don't know. I was so tired. Like I get home from work today. I get home from camp today, and I take a shower, go throw the game on. My brother's watching it, and I see it's 1-0 England at like the 81st minute.
It was awesome.
I knock right out, dead asleep, and I wake up probably 40 minutes later, like all groggy, and I hear my brother like, "Oh God, that's so stupid." I'm like, "What happened?" And it was too. So I didn't see it. But I think it's going to be cool. Like if Spain knocks off Argentina, you can do like that whole baby photo of like, Messi holding Yamal as like a
Yamal
baby. Like you can do Yamal now, like holding Messi as a little baby. Like if he beats him, like that could be pretty funny. But I think Spain's going to beat him. Argentina, like they should have been knocked out like 3 separate occasions.
Yeah, but that's exactly why Argentina's going to win. They should have been knocked out 3 separate occasions, and then the refs come in and save Argentina.
The refs
could be a problem.
We had a reel that we made for Nick Wright's show where Nick said pretty much just like Argentina has relentless belief, and that might win the World Cup for them. That even their opponent begins to think like we're screwed. Kind of in a way, like Mahomes and the Chiefs, right? When you're playing them, it always feels like, and maybe not as much recently, but in the past, he gets the ball with 2 minutes left, inevitable. He's going to win the game.
No, man, it reminds me of, like, it happened in Egypt. It happened today. Like, it reminds me of trying to beat the Patriots when they had Tom Brady.
Yeah, no. I mean,
It's like,
that's kind of, you have one of the best players of all time, and you start in soccer, probably the best player of all time, Messi. And it's like, in your mind, if you're on England or whoever the opponent is, like, shit, like it's going to happen. And as that game continued and England went more defensive and Argentina put all their attackers in, you're watching just cross after cross hitting the post. It's like, okay, like it's going to happen. And eventually it gets caught up. But we had a reel this morning and I forgot to put it out early. It came in this late last night. I was going to put it out in the morning. This afternoon, 2 hours before the game, I'm like, you know what? All right, screw it. Like, we're just gonna put it out. Content's content. And when I'm rooting for England, but when Argentina scored this goal to take the lead, it was just like the perfect reel to have out there for Nick of this team will always find a way. I was like, all right, worth putting out. But I sent the text at 3:41 to our buddy Mr. Walpole. I said, just need to hold on. At 3:46, damn it. So maybe I jinxed them. I don't know. But
yeah, so
anyway.
That's why I was confused, because I woke up like kind of out of it. And I just see a text from Paul, from you in our chat, out of nowhere, like 5:03. F that. I had no idea what
I was actually mad. I couldn't believe it. I was actually mad. I was genuinely upset.
Because I see our last text was like 3:50 and it was about the show. And then I see F that. I'm like,
you're like, what the hell you thought? Yeah. Why is Paul mad?
And then I figured it was probably the Argentina game.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to send the Winston Churchill cigar meme that I've been sending after every win. But unfortunately,
do you think I could have made a pass like Messi made for the final goal, for the header?
No, I think Jack, and this is not meant to be an insult, though it will certainly.
No, is there a better chance I could make that pass or head the ball in for a goal?
Head it in. Like, you could get lucky on a header. No, I
can just hit your head. I mean, we've seen it at the World Cup before. Just hit someone's head.
Just hits my head and just rolls in.
Yeah, like someone Messi would cross it in, but he'd aim for your head and it would go in.
Yeah.
Now this is again going to sound insulting, but I don't mean it to. And it's kind of ironic because you're an amazing runner, Jack. For anyone who doesn't know, fantastic runner throughout high school and went to college for it.
Used to be.
Yeah, no. Used to be. I think he's very naturally gifted. One of our friends once said. One of our friends in high school once said, she goes, "I think Jack's the most naturally gifted runner I've ever seen, but he's just so lazy," which was not true, not fair at the time view. But I could have been in the Olympics. I think when it comes to feet coordination, you rank in the bottom, like 3 or 5 people that I believe in to kick a ball or like use their feet in a coordinated manner.
I would 1000% agree.
Yeah, that's why I go head over. Like I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know what that would look like.
If I tried to play soccer, I couldn't even imagine myself trying to play soccer.
All right, so who do you guys? We'll do a prediction, then we'll get on to football, NFL football here.
I have a funny. Can I tell one funny story really quick?
Yeah, then we'll do the prediction.
No, good.
Go for it.
Similar to that, like that question I just asked, like better chance that you pass it or head it. I was at one of the games this weekend in San Diego, and there's this awesome shortstop made an awesome play, and like backhand, like came to set his feet and like fired across the diamond. First baseman caught like a rope. Guy was out. So I just turned to my friend, turned to one of my friends, Jordan. It's me, Jordan, and our buddy Alex. And I'm like, Jordan, is there a better chance that like Alex fields that ground ball or Alex catches the ball at first base? And he's like, dude, first base for sure. Like he could maybe just like stick his glove in the air and the shortstop can just try to throw it there and get lucky. But there's no way he ever fields that ground ball. It was just funny. I was just thinking about that. It reminded me of that question.
Yeah, it's hard. So Sunday in New Jersey, we'll have Spain and Argentina. which, as disappointed as I am with England being out, I think for soccer, they're probably happy to have Messi in the final here. We'll start with you, Ziggy. Who do you have winning it?
I believe in the power of goodness. So I'm going to bet on Spain beating Argentina because sometimes good things happen. It's
Jack?
that simple.
Yeah, I'm going to go Spain too. I'm going to go 2-1 Spain. They score a late goal to end it.
You're betting against. Wow. I mean, there is an inevitable magic feel with Argentina right now. Spain's the better team, right? Like Spain's played better throughout the World Cup, but I'll go Argentina. I'll counter you guys. When you have it, when you have magic, you have magic on your side.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like Tom Brady in his older years playing against like Patrick Mahomes. That's what it's
yeah.
kind of
Except,
Yeah.
Well, Jamal hasn't.
Then should you take Argentina?
Yeah, you should take
What's
Argentina
up?
then.
No, I mean, yeah. So
I
guess I should then, yes. But that's
You
like
should
kind of what
switch.
this reminds me of.
You should switch.
But I'm
over.
feeling Spain.
So, all right. So we'll go. We got 2 Spain, 1 Argentina here. How much would you, Ziggy? How much would you sell? Never mind. I won't even ask because you'd sell your ticket for $1,000. You wouldn't.
Well, I would trade it to get to the finish of the tour.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to ask. Okay, let's get into the NFL here. We'll go through the quarterback stuff first. So we touched on in ESPN Jordan Love coming in at 13 in the top 10, right? He was in the honorable mention, but he seemed to come in last of the honorable mention guys outside the top 10. Caleb was 10, right? And at 9 was Jared Goff among the NFC North quarterbacks. Sorry, Jack, Aaron Rodgers did not make the cut this season.
Okay. It's okay.
So a lot of Packers people felt that Jordan Love was disrespected there. And this was on the heels of him coming in 72nd in the NFL top 100. And this is now it's the 3rd year in a row that Love has been on the list, but it's also the 2nd year now where we've seen Jordan slide back, right? A couple of years ago after the 2023 end, he was 34, slid back to 68 last season. And now here he is at 72. And a lot of like Packers related people came out in defense of Jordan Love. The most notable was Micah Parsons, who said 71 players in the NFL aren't better than Jordan Love, ! On Twitter. It's always great to see Mike again involved in the Twitter game. So what I want to ask you guys here, and I'll start with you, Ziggy. Why do you think Love isn't rated as highly amongst the national media and general onlookers compared to, Packers fans and then people who watch the Packers a little more closely like we do, having an NFC North based show?
Well, there's an easy answer, I think, and that's that most people don't watch quarterbacks play for the teams that people usually don't watch quarterbacks play outside of the playoffs, except for the team that they follow or cover or whatever. And if you look at the playoff history, what do you see of Jordan Love? You see a great upset victory against the Cowboys, followed by a game-losing interception to the 49ers, a bad game against Philadelphia in 2024, and a historic collapse against the Bears in 2025. So if that's what you're looking at, right, if that's what your sample size for Jordan Love is, of course you're not going to be super high on him. You can say, well, he's a guy who makes the playoffs every year, but there's not a lot more than that to see. So I think as long as that's your sample size, and it's fair enough to say that playoff games matter more, Jordan Love has done very little to show that he's a surefire top 10 quarterback, or as high as 5 or 6 where some people put him. I think if you watch him in the regular season, you can see a little bit more and get a little bit more excited. But the playoff disappointments add up. And, he's not having as good regular seasons as someone like Lamar, who's had playoff disappointments but can back that up with like unbelievable MVP play during the season. And as we'll get to, Lamar is suffering from this too, as much as anyone else. So I think it's just playoff recency and not having the PR team that Joe Burrow does.
Yeah, Lamar dropped big time too, didn't he?
Yeah, we'll get to Lamar in a second. Lamar had
Well, I just have to ask, right? Like,
stuff.
I know Joe Burrow made a Super Bowl a number of years ago, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. But since that Super Bowl run, right, people sometimes say these rankings shouldn't care too much about the history. They shouldn't care what guys do years ago. They went 2-1 in 2022. That was nice. And then they've missed the playoffs 3 straight years. Like, I think some guys get a lot of credit for things they did a long time ago, and Jordan Love doesn't have that. But if anybody's going to say, well, you can't look at Jordan Love's great regular season stretches and say that he doesn't deserve it because he hasn't had postseason success, or are you going to put a guy like Joe Burrow who hasn't won a playoff game in 4 years?
Well, I think the thing with Burrow is, he's had 2024, he had 43 touchdowns and 9 picks. Like, he could have won MVP. And last year, I know he only plays in 8 games, but in the 8 games he plays, he played quite well. So it's like, I do think that Joe Burrow, I get it, right? Like, if you don't want to have him high in your maybe like all-time rankings because of some accomplishments or lack thereof, fine. But as far as like guys you want, if you want to win a game on Sunday, he's still going to be in most people's top 5 because when he's on the field, he's amazing.
Also, too, like if you look again, what Ziggy was saying, and I do believe you pretty much nailed that, is people are watching when you're playing on prime time and when you're playing in the playoffs. And I do think that Jordan Love has a little bit of Lamar Jackson in him with that lack of playoff success. But the only way to really be considered an elite level quarterback is putting up crazy through the roof numbers during the regular season in games that,
without the playoff success,
like, for lack of a better term, like, are less important to make up for the lack of playoff success. Like, I don't think Jordan Love has done that like Josh Allen, like Mahomes, like Lamar.
Well, and then the other thing is, and Ziggy, I think you brought up a great point with the playoffs, right? Like the games themselves. The Cowboy game was, Jordan Love's been riding that for 3 years. Like, that's the best game of his career. And the other games, though, throws 2 interceptions in the second half against San Francisco. Again, right, whether or not, that was a weird game with the rain, but national, huge game, lose. The Philly game, they kind of like flamed out with a bunch of injuries. They go into Philly. They don't look good in that game. And then last year, they have an embarrassing collapse against Chicago right after having another embarrassing collapse against Chicago in which he left the game injured. So you have those moments. He's been banged up a little bit, right? And I'm just saying, what is like what are people who don't watch the Packers every week seeing? They're seeing him against the Bears get hurt. They're seeing him with the playoff games that they've lost. The Eagles game, right, opens the season, goes down with the knee injury. Like that's what most people are seeing when they see Jordan Love. And then his interceptions, though they've been significantly reduced, some of them are truly just like laughably bad. Like the Carolina interception that he had last year, right? Off your back foot. And it's like, that's a play that gets highlighted and you see it go viral. It's on ESPN. Where what the modern regular NFL fan sees with Jordan Love doesn't really match all the statistics. And I rattled them off yesterday where the dude just has, like top 5 or 7 numbers in almost every single category. So it's understandable why national media might do it. And then just to clarify what's going on here with the top 100, because we'll get into the Lamar Jackson as well. I believe they asked players to rank their top 20 guys in the league.
Yeah.
And then you average it out. So if you hand guys a piece of paper and a pen and say list your top 10 quarterbacks, that's probably going to look, that in that situation you're going to get the actual results here. They're just saying like who's a top 20 player in the league, and like for Lamar and Jordan, they just weren't on as many people's lists in the top 20 players. That doesn't mean that they're not someone's 7th ranked quarterback.
Also,
just to clear that up,
people too are very critical, and especially the average Joe football fan. Let's take last year, for example, right? Like you're watching that Bears-Packers playoff game. I bet you that's the first Packers game a lot of people watched.
Like Jordan Love was great in that game too.
Well,
not during the second half, and people won't remember how games end.
He was right, and it's unfortunate because football is a team sport, but the quarterback gets a lot of the burn
and a lot of the glory too. Though when you win,
a lot of the glory.
Like Caleb. So do I think Caleb is as high as some people put on the list? Not yet, but like he's going to be up there for a lot of people because of those amazing finishes.
Yeah, but again, like the Packers ended up losing that game, and that's what people remember. They're not going to remember how awesome Jordan Love was in the first half. They'll remember Jordan Love choked and the Packers lost in the end. Like they don't know that Tucker Kraft was out. They have no idea who Tucker Kraft was, right? Like Love was missing his
don't know at the end of this year.
This is what's funny. This is what's so funny about our show, guys, is I'm trying to figure out the right way to put this so I can flamed here. What's funny about our show is we do cover our rivals so close that like I predicted the Lions to win 13 games. I think Caleb Williams is someone who I'd put more stock in going forward than almost any quarterback in the league. Like, he's right up there in the top 5, I think, when we ranked it. And then, like Jordan Love, we've been on Jordan Love for 3 years. Like, we just think he's really good. And people will come in, all the rival fan bases get on you when you talk about one of them positively. But like, this is what's brutal about this show for us is like our claims about Jordan Love are kind of counter to what everyone else is saying because we watch him every single week. Like, I think if Love stays healthy, if their weapons stay healthy as well, like I'd expect at the end of this year, Jordan Love will be, a 5 through 7 quarterback for almost everyone in media.
But I will say this. So like Peter Bukowski put out a video today where he said Jordan Love's being held to a different standard than other quarterbacks. I don't think that's true. Whether or not we like the standard, I think the standard is pretty consistent. Jordan Love, in order for him to live in that world, Paul, is going to the Packers have a lot of expectations coming in this year. And I think fans and just of the team and NFL fans in general are tired of hearing that this is the year that Jordan Love's going to prove it. Because I'm pretty sure we ran exactly the same segment last year where we said by the end of the year, Jordan Love was plagued by injuries, but the offense is getting better around him. By the end of next year, he's going to be the quarterback we all have as borderline top 5.
But I do think that like that was proven right through the first, half or 10 games of the year when Green Bay was 7-3-1 or 7-2-1, and Love was a top 3 or 4 MVP candidate at the time, and then everyone got hurt. And like that was without Jaden Reed, and that was without Christian Watson and Tucker Kraft.
I just mean it's got to happen at some point, and if it's not this year,
that's the thing too. Is like 99% of average football fans will say, "Oh, like Love kind of fell off a little bit," and have no clue that Kraft, their best weapon, went down.
If you don't follow the NFC North, do you know who Zach Tom is? Because like Zach Tom's never made a Pro Bowl before.
You might not. And it's
the Zach Tom, that's his name.
Yeah, I mean that's the reaction when Zach Tom is like, he's probably the 3rd best player on the Packers.
A couple of years ago, I think the Pirates had a player named Zach Tom, and they found him at Walmart and said to come play the outfield for the Pirates. Dead serious. You can look it up.
That's
we had like 60 wins. Our starting left fielder was from Walmart.
But yeah, it's funny to me that like we're the ones out here, defending the Jordan Love stuff, and I actually think we're right. Like that's what's sickening about this show is like I truly do think Jordan Love is an awesome quarterback who doesn't get the love, no pun intended, that he probably should. He had a great Film Watchers who is really blown up all over the place. The Instagram guy that I
rightly deserved. You should check him out.
Oh, he's phenomenal. But I feel like I was on that before. That was another thing. I feel like I was on that before he got really big.
What's it called? Film Watchers?
Film Watchers, yeah. Remember, I sent you clips like the kid who breaks down plays.
Yeah.
He had Jordan Love on, and I watched that episode. It's really good. It's like 35 minutes of Love just breaking down how things work with LaFleur, and a lot of people. I think one thing that you can remember about, like the importance. Some Packer fans want LaFleur gone. You forget that like if they bring in a new coach, right, you're learning a whole new system. I mean, you reset one of the Bills guys was saying, with Jim Leonard coming in, you had to reset everything. And the Packers, like that's one spot where keeping LaFleur, and you hear the way Jordan Love talks about him, these guys love LaFleur and they think he's brilliant. So yeah, I think at the end of this year, most people are going to be looking at Jordan Love as a legitimate star in the league. Some people do right now. Some people think he's like a little overrated. I think at the end of this year, people will say if the cards fall right for them, which they really haven't the past few years, I think they will. I think Love's going to be a top 7 quarterback pretty consistently. There's something else I wanted to ask you guys about, but I can't. It's kind of slipping my mind right here. Well, we could go on here to Lamar Jackson a little bit if you guys want. So Lamar also fell from 2 to 69. Yeah. Well, Jack, you'd be backed up by this. Lamar fell from 2 to 69 in the player rankings. And again, remember, people list their top 20 players. That doesn't mean that everyone has Lamar Jackson out of their top 10 quarterbacks. But the rankings so far have gone Bryce Young at 98, Brock Purdy 85, Baker 77, Love 72, and then Lamar. And what I'm curious what you guys think about is, do you think we've reached the point with Lamar, just 1 year removed from first team all pro? Wait. Being heavily debated, thank you, with Josh Allen for the MVP. Should he still automatically be given that? Yeah, top 5. Like should he still be in that group, like considered, that group of him, Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen? Should they still have automatic separation from the rest of the league plus Stafford?
I mean, Lamar Jackson, as a Lamar Jackson hater, and
yeah, and then kudos to you for just coming out and being like, I hate that.
Yeah, I think he stinks.
You can't say he stinks.
And I know. So I'll try my best here to take the mask off with Lamar.
Jack, when you were in Mexico, did you do some ayahuasca or something? Like this is some real
I actually did
mature growth from you.
I actually did, Ziggy. I went to a Mexican Hooters 10 minutes from the border.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm not applauding anymore. I tried.
It was the best place I've ever been to. Fantastic. I walk right in and it's like everywhere. Boom. Anyway.
Fuck.
Anyway, I think that we may have forgot just how good Lamar Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I have to say, we're talking about forgetting how good. Yeah, go ahead.
But like we're Lamar every year is like we're putting this guy in this. We're putting the Ravens as like high odds to win the Super Bowl, and we're saying he's the God's greatest gift, and that's the stuff that I disagree with. Like I think he's overrated in that sense. It's like where it's like, oh, the Ravens are every single year they're going to the AFC Championship. They're going to the AFC Championship. Going to the AFC Championship. I think he's overrated in that sense. But to go from 2 to drop 67 spots here for having a down year and not winning the division.
Yeah, where they were like a kick away from going. Yeah,
but seems like it could be dangerous for the rest of the league to count out Lamar Jackson, because this might set a little bit of a fire under him, and he might want to prove, look, like I still am one of the best quarterbacks in this league. So as a Steeler fan, after the Ravens missed that kick, after people are counting out Lamar Jackson, it's a little bit nerve-wracking to me. Because yes, while he's been a playoff choker, and I love the fact that he is, this team has been very good and very relevant for years because of him. And I don't think I'm ready to be like, kick Lamar to the curb, even though I really want to.
Here are Lamar Jackson's last 3 seasons. 2023, he wins an MVP. 2024, he throws for 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, while adding 1,000 yards on the ground. 2025, he plays 13 games, still throws for 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's like Lamar Jackson sucks and he's hurt scoreline. And there was they ran a segment on ESPN a couple of days ago asking whether there's a real chance Lamar Jackson will get benched for Tyler Huntley this year. Like the Lamar Jackson hate that's
just stupidest shit you'll ever hear. Like,
no, hold on, can I say one more thing too?
Yeah, go ahead.
We just had the conversation about the average Joe football fan, right? Now, in my defense, I really only watch Lamar Jackson when he plays against the Steelers. And like we know how he is against the Steelers, he's awful. Like I'll look at like his stat line in other games, I'll see like, oh, like wow, Lamar cooked. Then I'll watch him play against the Steelers and he's terrible.
But I mean, yeah, you guys do play him better than anyone in football.
Yeah. So I mean that's where that comes from. And that's that's the quote unquote, I'm not a professional. I'm an average football fan when it comes to that.
Yeah, you just host a podcast, 30,000 people.
Well, yeah,
I'm going-
look. Here's
No
I'm going to
expectation
Mexican
that you'd
Hooters.
watch your biggest rival.
I'm going to Mexican Hooters, having some margaritas, watching whatever game's on. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll just say this. Like, there was a major sports media host who put Lamar Jackson 11 on their top 10 quarterback rankings. And this guy who's going unnamed, gave 2 reasons. He said Lamar Jackson's injured all the time and Lamar Jackson doesn't have enough fourth quarter comeback wins. Well, he put Joe Burrow at number 6. Joe Burrow has missed more games than Lamar Jackson over the last 3 years. And Lamar Jackson has twice as many fourth quarter comeback wins as Joe Burrow over their careers. So, like, the standards that are being set here, I think, just don't make any sense. And it feels like we're still back in 2020 with people saying Lamar's a running back. He can't do anything. He's never going to achieve anything. Most quarterbacks, even most very good quarterbacks, don't win Super Bowls. But I'll tell you, most good quarterbacks don't win 2 MVPs either. I'm just really puzzled at why Lamar Jackson, after an off year where he's hurt, is dropping to like borderline top 10 quarterback status.
I think
ahead,
fourth quarter comebacks is an overrated stat.
Oh no, sure. I'm just saying it's not even true about Lamar.
Okay.
Fourth quarter,
Yeah,
fourth
I
quarter
get it.
comebacks. I think the way to view fourth quarter comebacks, and we'll shape this a little more with Caleb too, is
Because you're losing.
fourth quarter comebacks should be looked at as like when they happen, right? That should be something that takes maybe really good quarterbacks into the great tier or great quarterbacks into the legendary tier. Like they should be a building block for your resume, not what you're building your resume on. And I think, we'll get into it a little bit more in a second here. But with with Lamar still, we are coming off, if you were to look the last 2 years, MVP, first team All-Pro, 2023, AP first team All-Pro, MVP 2 in 2024. We're coming off just 2 unbelievable years from him. And he's always gotten a little more hate from people. Ziggy, we've been talking about Colin's list. It's okay. We can say, with Colin, one thing that I really respect about Colin is he truly believes what he says, right? Like when Colin goes on air, I've been on these Zoom calls, guys, before and after we start, he believes what he says. I know a lot of people might think it's hot take specialty, but no, he thinks Caleb Williams is the 3rd best quarterback in football. I completely disagreed with him yesterday, though, when he said I'd rather have Bo Nix or a fourth quarter comeback than Lamar Jackson. I'm like, okay, can we slow this down here? I get people like to hate on Lamar, but yeah, Ziggy, he was banged up last year, still almost led the team. We were 1 kick away from having the Week 18 reaction be Lamar Jackson saved the Baltimore Ravens. Jack, you're watching that game. The plays he was making in the fourth quarter, we're close to being some plays that would have defined Lamar's career if the Ravens had gone on a deep run.
No, listen, I think that the Baltimore Ravens are more overrated than Lamar Jackson. That's what's truly crazy sometimes about how much winning and losing can impact what you remember. Lamar on that fourth quarter, he was incredible. And he had the one who I can't remember who's he. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough.
No. Well, he was good enough.
No, he wasn't.
The Ravens were not good enough.
Get him a closer field goal.
Yeah,
get him down there even further.
Well, that's on Harbaugh is the one who decided not to just kick it, but I guess that's why Harbaugh's gone. But go ahead, Ziggy. You were.
I just have to say it's not just winning and losing though. Roquan Smith came in higher than Lamar Jackson. It's not just general Ravens hate. People are a bunch of people with a straight face said, yes, I believe that Roquan Smith is a better player than Lamar Jackson. I know it's not strictly head-to-head like that, but you just can't. Look, I know Bears fans love Roquan Smith. I liked Roquan Smith when he played with the Bears. Roquan Smith is not a 2-time MVP, and he hasn't been particularly good the past 2 years.
Well, now, but here's what I want to see now throughout the rest of the top 10. Lamar takes this tumble from 67 or from 2 to 69. What happens with Patrick Mahomes? What's going to happen with Patrick Mahomes? Because Mahomes last year, Lamar's 6-7 in games he played in. Patrick Mahomes was 6-8. Patrick Mahomes threw for 3,600 yards. Lamar threw for about 2,600, so 1,000 difference. Touchdown to interception, Lamar 21-7, Mahomes 22-11. So the numbers aren't that different. The records aren't that different. Mahomes, some people have said that you take Mahomes off the Chiefs, they're winning 3 games or something.
You take Lamar off the Ravens offense.
Yeah, what were the Ravens without Lamar?
That's 0-17.
So
take him off.
You have 2 guys who are consistently ranked in the top 5.
Unless you're playing the Bears.
Most people. Sure. You have 2 guys who are consistently ranked in the top 5 for most people. 2 guys who have awesome resumes. A little different, right? In the winning in the playoffs for Mahomes. But Lamar's one of the best regular season quarterbacks ever, coming off down years. If Lamar falls 67 spots, you have to think Mahomes should probably be coming in a little a little higher. You could argue, but like it's not like Patrick Mahomes has lit the world on fire for a few years here. What did you say?
You said Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick.
Did I?
Yeah.
I think you were caught between Patrick Mahomes and Catch. I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Patrick.
I mean, we'll see, right? Like Mahomes came in at number 2 in those ESPN executive rankings, whereas Lamar came in at 5. But you still had weirdos saying that Patrick Mahomes is the 9th best quarterback in the NFL.
Well, you had some people there, but most people still have Mahomes at 2. Most people are punishing Lamar more than they're punishing Mahomes.
Hold on, but isn't this top 100? Yeah, top 100, whatever it is. For this past season,
it's supposed to be reflective of last season.
But and going into this season too, or just last season?
I think that it's a mix of both, but it usually it weighs heavily on the season.
Because I think when it in terms of coming into the 2027 season, to have Lamar where he is very low. But if you're looking at it from last season, I do actually think that 69 could be reasonable.
Well, that's where I want to see what happens here.
I don't think Mahomes should be that much higher.
Because if Mahomes is in the top, if Mahomes is 15,
that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But if you're projecting out, it'll be interesting to see.
But if you're projecting out, you should put Lamar lower.
Then you should put Lamar higher. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Patrick Mahomes might come in below Caleb Williams. It's possible.
You should probably have Jordan Love higher too if
you're
projecting out. But yeah, so I'm just curious to see.
If this is based off of mostly last season, shouldn't Caleb be higher than Mahomes?
And what happens with Joe Burrow? Where is Joe Burrow? Was 6 last year. Joe Burrow was 5-3 as a starter, 1,800 yards, 17-5 touchdown interception. But again, Bengals don't make the playoffs. I'm after seeing Lamar come in here, the 2 peers that he's most often related to, in addition to with Josh Allen, if they're all way higher, it's okay, this is just Lamar Jackson hate. But that'll be something to keep an eye on as we go forward in those top 100.
Ziggy, I have a hypothetical for you. Can I ask you a question? I just thought of this because
that's always dangerous.
We only got a certain number of episodes left before I can stop asking Ziggy these questions. Still be gone.
Yeah, ever talk to Ziggy again?
Oh no, I'll keep in touch with Ziggy.
Oh no, Jack, you're getting your number blocked.
Whether he keeps in touch with me is a different story. But I will keep in touch with Ziggy.
I'll even talk with Mr. Weinberger. I love Mr. Weinberger. Huge Mr. Weinberger fan.
Oh yeah, he loves you too, Ziggy. Anyway, so this is what I was thinking of. See that the door behind you? Is that a closet?
Yeah.
Okay.
If for
one night, that closet was wide open, and I had to just watch you sleep the entire night for 8 hours. I'm just there watching you sleep with my eyes open, staring right at you like this. All right.
That's so weird.
And that saves the NFL. So if you don't let me do that, NFL football is abolished forever. Would you let me watch you sleep for a night?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, you would? All right.
I mean, it'd be really. The only reason people watching you sleep is bad is if someone really wants to, because that's kind of strange. But there's nothing it doesn't hurt you at all to have someone watch you sleep.
Ziggy,
if someone's I really want to watch Ziggy sleep. That's a problem.
I hate to tell you this. there are people who want to see you sleep, and Jack would want to watch you sleep.
I'd want to watch you sleep.
Yeah, but I could at least here's the thing. I could at least tell myself Jack's doing it because he wants to see TJ Watt take the field again. I get it.
No. I'm saying strip the deal here, Jack. If you
I understand, but I could tell myself
watch?
something different in the context of.
Oh, you can manipulate yourself.
Like he could, like he could make himself think that. Oh, Paul, you'd watch Ziggy sleep.
I mean, look, I've stayed at Paul's house before.
I've seen Ziggy
Jack's
sleep,
already done this.
There's got to be probably 15,000 people who would watch Ziggy sleep.
Okay, that's enough of this.
That might be.
This is why I got suspicious when Jack.
That might be lowballing it.
It never ends well.
So when Paul was talking about Lamar, I just had that random thought pop into my head. I just asked that.
Future. I have a question. A football question. Lamar Jackson came in at 69. Where do you think Caleb Williams is going to come in?
Should be high.
I think Caleb will definitely be in the top 40. I'm trying to think how high would put him. I'll go. I'm looking at last year's list. Let's just take a look. So the quarterbacks on last year's list, you had Lamar at 2, Allen at 3, Mahomes at 5, Burrow at 6. Then you had Goff at 15.
That's higher than I remember Goff being.
Jalen Hurts at 19. Jaden Daniels 21. I think Caleb will be in the top 20. I think Caleb's going to come in at like I'll say the 20th player. Which
that's rich, Paul. That is real. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that just seems really high for Caleb Williams.
Maybe we'll go let's go 27. 27 for Caleb Williams. Which
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean, I just think that when these guys are voting, I don't know what time of year, but like what's probably was in their mind when they were voting. The epic. Do you have that, Ziggy, when they ranked it?
They get the ballot at Thanksgiving and they have to have it in before New Year's.
Okay, so that means before the playoff games. But this was probably when was the Packers-Bears? When was the Packers-Bears crazy comeback?
Those happened in December 7th, I believe. It was like that first week of December.
Oh, so most guys are probably filling their card out around that time. I think that Caleb's going to be, but the Bears were, the 2 seed. I'll go 27. He'll be very highly ranked. I'd be surprised. Josh Allen will be ahead of him. Stafford will be ahead of him for sure. Well, Drake May will be ahead of him, I'd guess. But there's probably not too many.
Well, Jaden Daniels came in at 21 last year. Do you think Caleb Williams is going to be higher or lower than Daniels was?
I think he'll be a little lower because Jaden, I think, was playing better football at that time. But I don't know, man. The way Caleb finished the year was awesome. And then the style with which was just crazy. So, no, I'm going to stick to 27. But I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it's going to be higher. And I'll tell you
why. So I say 20. So I'm sorry. I say 20. No. That's rich, brother.
No, I clarified and said, it's not that I think you're wrong about where he's going to end up. It's that seems really high for Caleb Williams to be.
Okay.
I clarified that. And, I mean, we talked a lot about why. But I'll tell you why I think he's going to come in at 20 or even higher. Compared to Jaden Daniels, people want to see Caleb Williams succeed so much. And the hype machine behind Caleb Williams is so significant. Because whether or not he was playing better than Jaden Daniels, I don't think he was. The way he was winning and the fact that it was Chicago and the fact that Caleb Williams was the number 1 pick and had built up to be all of this and Ben Johnson was there. Like, it was just the perfect storm for people to be disposed to love Caleb Williams. And then when he comes out and there's enough evidence that you can sort of confirm it and see, okay, this guy's pretty good. I totally get it. Like Caleb Williams and going into Madden next year is going to be ranked the same as Justin Herbert. People think Caleb Williams is a monster on the field. And I think he played well last year, but I think a lot of the Caleb Williams stuff that Jaden Daniels did not have was a hype machine. And I think the hype's just gotten out of control.
Well, that's the next question we were going to say is, Colin puts him at 3 on his list. And it was funny. So when getting called in for working on Colin on Tuesday night, Danny Parkins was the guest. And for those who don't know, right, Danny Parkins, big Chicago Bears fan, huge Caleb believer. Danny asked him, he was like, even Danny was like, okay, Colin, like, it feels a little rich. Was that more of a projection? Colin said, yeah, I'm kind of projecting forward with Caleb in that ranking. And Danny had just a great response where he's like, you know what's bothering me? I'm the Chicago guy. I'm trying to make a name for myself in this industry. And then, Colin, you put Caleb at 3, and Nick Wright's all over Caleb Williams as well. It's taking away my take. But that's what we're seeing, right? And I think that a lot of people right now, Caleb's the easy answer, given the way he finished last year, for who's the next guy to make that jump. And I think you're sort of seeing almost an arms race in sports media right now of who can be the Caleb Williams guy. And then you're just seeing each take kind of become more outlandish than the next, where we've been very blunt about Caleb throughout his entire career. At the beginning of last season, I said I'd rather have JJ McCarthy after we won that game on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that take lasted for 1 week.
Well, it lasted for 1 week, yes. I mean, I was riding high after the win. Go ahead, Jack.
In terms of where Caleb ends up, like how much of that do you think falls on what the Chicago Bears were able to do? Like, if the Ravens make a game-winning field goal, like if Baltimore makes a game-winning field goal and wins the division, where's Lamar?
If Lamar wins a playoff game, he's staying in the top 10. And if the Bears defense
doesn't miss a 40-yard field goal,
if the Bears defense doesn't really step up in that second half and they get blown out by the Packers,
against,
what people have said, they would have said the regular season doesn't matter at all. The Bears just got steamrolled. What's the classic quote? The Chicago Bears are who we thought they were.
Yeah. So like that's what makes this interesting, is because there's so many factors to me that go into it. Like Caleb Williams, there's no doubt took a huge step up and was very, very good. Exceeded expectations, at least, I mean, for me, of course. But
I mean, this is, can we just pause here for a second? We got to pause here for a second and say, on this episode of the Paul Farrington Show, this is historic. Jack has defended Lamar Jackson and Caleb Williams from haters. What happened to the Jack I love?
But there comes a point, though, and I could still argue Lamar Jackson that's a different story, but I just look like a total goo. There's no way to argue that Caleb Williams still stinks. I can't do that. I don't think I can.
But I do think we've got to the point with Caleb where if you want to put him in your top 5 quarterbacks in the league, that's with projection, and you have to say in your ranking, at the end of this year, I think he's going to take the leap. And I have no problem at all. I mean, you could say to me, Caleb's going to be the 3rd best quarterback or 2nd. Like, you can really put Caleb anywhere you want. That's how high of a level he can get to. And that, at least I think. But if you're going to say, like, right now, how are you ranking them? And using last season, right? Or if you're saying based on last year, how would you rank the guys? I think that having him come in the bottom of the top 10 is a fair place. But you're just seeing this arms race to be the guy to have Caleb there. And really, like, he had an awesome year. And by the end of the season, we had the Bears ranked super high in the power rankings. We had Caleb high in our quarterback rankings, as they deserve to be. But you need to see the whole picture of, like, okay, the pros the fourth quarter comebacks were unbelievable. Some of the throws were truly throws that almost no one in the league can make. But then it's also like, okay, you were in a position where you needed to make those comebacks, and the accuracy wasn't where it needed to be. So I think with Caleb, you can be as bullish as you want, but you just need to be like, okay, like, you're going to hear so much positive on Caleb, where the pressure is really high now. Like, the pressure on them to perform is at a really high level. Go ahead.
Ziggy, don't worry. I'm still taking Rodgers over Caleb Williams. We go.
Okay.
I still think the Steelers I still think the Steelers go to the Super Bowl.
The best
I'm just saying Caleb's better than I thought he was. That's all I'm saying. Like, Caleb's better than I thought he was. That's what I'm saying.
In the NFC, as far as the NFC North world is concerned, what's so awesome about this is there's all these debates right now about, I'm seeing on TV, where's Jordan Love? Is he underrated? Mike is talking. Caleb Williams. Everyone wants to be the Caleb Williams guy. The Lions fans are just sitting back here. They're like, what the fuck? Like, where's Jared Goff? Like, Goff's numbers are so good.
But Jared Goff came in at 15 last year. He jumped the reigning Super Bowl MVP.
We always talk we always talk about football being the week-to-week sport. It's also a seasonal sport. Like, it's a big-time seasonal sport, too. Like, the Lions were 8-9 last year and missed the playoffs. But once the Lions start 3-0, Jared Goff's like, he's back. That's what happened.
And Goff, even with them missing the playoffs, right? 34 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Like, he's been statistically brilliant. 40 in Detroit last 4 years, 4,500 yards a season. He's throwing for a little over 30 touchdowns, and he's at like 10 interceptions. He's been great. And it's interesting to see, like, what you said, Ziggy. He was 15 in the top 100 last season. I don't know where he'll be because of the Lions record. But, that was the major problem with the Lions was the defense was injured and falling apart. If the league sees Goff in that way, it's weird that, the media doesn't really exactly feel the same way at times. So that's where Lions fans are furious. They're like, hey, this guy's been as good as it gets in football for years, but he doesn't have the sexiness of Caleb's comebacks, and he doesn't have the winning yet. Yeah, there you go, Jack. He doesn't have the winning yet that Mahomes and Stafford have done. So he's kind of in that weird, like, no man's land of, like, oh, this guy's just really, really good, but he's not going to drive the ratings. Like, who's the star of the Lions? If you're turning on the TV, you're turning on to watch Dan Campbell. That's who you're turning. Like, that's who you're turning on to watch. Like, Dan Campbell with the decision making and that. Like, he's the star of the Lions. Caleb's the star of the Bears. Jordan Love's the star of the Packers. Micah and Jordan Love are the stars of the Packers. But, like, Goff kind of, even he was on quarterback, and, like, no one talks about him outside of people in the Midwest. So that's
Paul,
it's interesting.
Rank your sexiest NFC North quarterbacks 1 to 4.
No. Paul, don't do it. We're moving on to the next.
Carson Wentz,
Goff's
number 1.
I actually think Goff might be 1.
Goff's got a good life, man. Goff's married to a swimsuit model, thrown for gazillion yards a year, winning.
Maybe McCarthy's 1. Then Love.
Hey, who knows, man? Yeah. All right. Let's. We're gonna wrap up the show here with
Ziggy left.
A couple quick hitters here. So Ziggy, you must be getting pretty excited with this Aaron Donald news. For those who don't know, before becoming a Viking fan, right? When I met Ziggy, he did not watch football at all.
Had seen one game, and it was the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl.
Yeah. I knock on his door and I say, hey, our buddy Will's not going to show up for the show. I think you'd enjoy it. Like, and I don't even know what my pitch was. I really don't even know. I think you did. Did I say I think you'd enjoy it? Is that loosely?
I think you just said, I know you'll show up. Can you do it?
Yeah. I know you'll show up. Here we are 8 years later. But Ziggy, as he, after we do the first show together, I'm like, damn, that was fun. And like, that was good. Invite him back. We start doing it. And Ziggy's like, okay, I got to pick a team. Initially, he was kind of talking about the Jets because that was his dad's team. And I think you were a Jets fan for like a year. And you
no. I never really cared about
a few months. And understandably, Ziggy's like, screw this. Like, I have to get off this. And lived in LA.
That's got to be torture.
Yeah. Lived close to LA in California, right? Rams at the time were pretty good, right? They weren't the Stafford Rams, but they had Goff, and Ziggy starts rooting for them, understandably, his hometown team. And just like, loves Aaron Donald. And then finally,
how could you not?
Then finally, I convinced Ziggy to join as a Viking fan. And I gave a lot of, like Palpatine kind of stuff. Like, you feel it in you. Like, but Ziggy for a few years, huge Rams fan, and his favorite player was Aaron Donald. And Ziggy would knock on my door in like the middle of the night sometimes, and he'd just be like, "Paul, you got to see this Aaron Donald rep." And I like he'd text me and be like, "You said, Ziggy, you changed one thing I watched about Aaron Donald when you said watch him on every play, and you said he's always there. Like, he always wins unless you triple team him, and even then." So I started watching games, and I would just watch Aaron Donald. Wouldn't even watch the play, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's right! Like, this guy just every single play lives in the backfield." So the reports now out of LA are that Aaron Donald, right, practiced with the Rams, threw on the old uniform. He's in unbelievable shape, as we know. We saw the Jared Verse video last season when he, had Jared Verse basically near tears, it seemed. said he won't work out with Aaron Donald again. That's how intense the workout was. And here we are now, where it looks like Aaron Donald. Be shocking if he doesn't rejoin the Rams at this point. You gotta be like one of the most excited guys on the planet. And are you actually considering switching your fandom back? Because I think that's pretty soft.
I mean, Aaron Donald has been in and out of, like, it's been years that he's been talking about coming back to the Rams, but it's a huge step for him to not just like come in and work out in pads or whatever, but the real thing to watch if you want to see Aaron Donald stuff and you don't have inside sources like me is his wife's Twitter account. And his wife's Twitter account has made it very clear to me he's back. If you look at Erica Donald on Twitter, she's talking about how she's learning a lot, how it feels like they're always in the building together now. Like, it's happening. Aaron Donald is coming back to the Rams. Jordan hasn't gotten back to me, so I can't confirm with insider information. But look, it's going to happen.
My
now,
Jordan?
No, Jordan Cohen. But Paul, you asked if I'm going to change fandom, and of course, Aaron Donald coming back, it would be enough to make my Rams the number 2 team I root for the whole year without question. You know, like people say you only root for one team, but everyone has teams they'd rather see win once their team's out of it, right?
To a
like
degree.
You have some preference?
Yeah, sure. Preference is fine. I'm not like, it's not ruining my day if the Dolphins lose in the AFC Championship game.
No, but like if the Dolphins are there,
you'd
rather see them win. Yeah, it would be like that.
Yeah.
But it's occurred to me, you know, I'm moving to Philadelphia. I'm probably going to have to change my NFL team because I don't know how much I can keep doing the Minnesota Vikings thing.
Oh,
I think my fandom might be out on the market. It might be available.
You know, that's so soft, Ziggy. That's
like
so
Eagles,
soft.
Eagles.
I'm soft.
Eagles, Rams.
Wait, who are you? LeBron James? You're gonna run a decision episode like every couple of years?
LeBron James won a championship with every team he was in. Look, Paul,
Ziggy, what are you down to?
Here's what you don't understand, and I can understand why you feel this way, Paul. I've been around you long enough to see it. You're a yearner. You don't have standards.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a deep insight, but our fans might not know this. Like, you will just sit around and hope for things to go your way rather than actually doing the sorts of things that lead it to happen.
Whoa, wait a second.
And here's the fact. Look, Jack knows. Jack's laughing if he knows. And this way
that is
I don't care how she treats me. I don't care whether she loves me
back.
That's bullshit. I am just going to sit around and hope that it happens.
No.
And when it doesn't, I'm going to be really sad.
There is a difference between yearning and then doing jack shit. I do not do jack shit.
Paul, I'm gonna avoid any specifics here, but tell me if you can't tell me if this is false of a straight face.
We're gonna miss Ziggy.
Right?
We're gonna miss Ziggy.
It doesn't happen, and you just sit there and feel sad. Well, I'm not going to take it like that. When I want things to change in my life, I don't sit around feeling sad, hoping it's going to be different. I do.
Ziggy takes action. Ziggy takes action.
And I don't know if I can let the Minnesota Vikings keep treating me like this, Paul.
So, Ziggy, what are you down to? You down to the Eagles, the
Rams? You know, Packers fans have been making a case. I can see it. I could become a Lions fan. Like, there's a lot of places. You know, Jack knows this. I've lived in almost every state in the country at one point.
Oh, believe me,
I've been all over.
Yeah,
I'm a Trailblazers fan. I love the Washington Capitals and Like, I could be a fan of anything and say it's where I'm from.
Yeah, you'd be entitled to root for any team that you wanted to, and justify.
I think that should be your final live stream, Ziggy. We'll call it the decision. Yeah,
the decision.
Can you please send me a picture of you in a suit, or like it's just like a button-down shirt with your arms crossed, like smiling? Please, I'll make a thumbnail for it. I need like a high quality image, not like, you know, like get someone on your iPhone to take, like your parents to take it on your iPhone.
No, Paul, I've got some pictures. I can hook you up.
Yeah, I need high quality Ziggy. The decision.
Kyler Murray is probably so happy he's got out of the NFC West. That poor guy would have died last year playing the Rams.
And the Seahawks and the 49ers with Nick Bosa back. Like,
yeah, not only are you in the NFC West, but you're also on the Cardinals in the NFC West.
Like, right.
This is why people are asking, like, why is Jacoby Brissett holding out? He's not that good. Jacoby Brissett is asking for hazard pay.
It's like life
He's saying,
insurance.
buddy, if you're gonna send me into the trenches to take the hits for this god awful team, I need to get paid more.
How many of me do you think it would take to block both Garrett and Donald? Like, if you clone me, make like 1 million of me, how many would it take?
And we by block, are we saying to stop forward momentum, or are we like or stop, like, you know what I mean, like to push back successfully?
Yes, give the quarterback time.
Well, I don't think there'd be enough room. You'd
have to crowd the quarterback out, and then it would be like dominoes.
Yeah,
Jack, if you've ever seen this play, this is the greatest play in the history of Pitt football. It's Aaron Donald versus Duke. Pitt's up 13-0. It's the middle of the first quarter. And Aaron Donald is triple teamed, and he blows past all three guys. There were so many guys in front of him, he couldn't see who had the ball. So he just tackles with one arm the quarterback and the other arm the running back and takes them both down so he could be sure he got the right guy. I've never seen a football player do that before. You would have no chance.
Look, I have seen that, but the best play in Pitt history is LaShawn McCoy.
The fake slide?
The fake slide's up there. LaShawn McCoy's the best player in Pitt history. But anyway, like, if let's say there's no receivers, right? No receivers, no running back. It's just a bunch of me's trying to stop any forward progress from both of them. How many of me would that take? Where they can't move anymore.
Over 100 Jacks.
Yeah. No, I'm with Paul here. You would have to literally, like, people are talking about the Warriors running a play where they just put 4 guys around Steph Curry and have Steph shoot while they're just building a wall. That's what you would have to do. You would have to form a series of concentric rings around the quarterback and just hope.
Yeah, I
hope he doesn't just come and.
I honestly wouldn't be able to see anything on the field.
Jack, this is gonna sound a little gruesome here, but I think the only way that you could stop forward momentum
is if a few of you died.
No. Well, yeah, but in that sense of, like, you literally can't be compressed anymore against whatever. Like, you're back against a brick wall basically, and he can't push you any further. Like, or else his hands going through you. It'd be like invincible stuff.
How many Aaron Donalds or Garrett's to stop me?
Now, you've lost your hypothetical rights for the rest of the show. Yeah. Paul, so we've got the Ziggy decision coming up. We'll update you all.
Ziggy decision will be good. I like that. That'll be fun. We'll have the Ziggy decision. Do you guys think we're in line with the Ziggy decision looming? Do you guys think we're in line for a happy football season? Between, like, let's have Ziggy as a wild card right now, but, like, let's do it in 3 buckets here, 4 buckets here. Jack is a Steeler fan, Paul and Ziggy for now as a Viking fan, Notre Dame football, which we're all fans of because it's on Jack's ticket, and then the show, given the, like, NFC North.
Yeah,
what do you think?
So. I would say
across the board. You think
I'm saying just overall, like the Steelers will be a playoff team. Ziggy won't be a Vikings fan; he'll be a Rams fan, so they'll make the Super Bowl. Notre Dame will probably win. They're one of the best teams in the league. They'll probably win the championship.
Go to hopefully a playoff berth.
Like, I think the NFC North does well. It's just I think the Vikings stink. That's like what, 4 or 5.
That's a big miss for me.
I'm trying to get out. I think it's a season from hell for Paul and Jack.
Like across the board here?
I think that Notre Dame is going to collapse.
They'll lose to BYU. That's about it.
Yeah, Notre Dame's going to lose 2 games on our cupcake soft schedule and get knocked out of the playoffs again, and we'll be mad again. The Steelers, LOL. That's all I have to say. You're going to wish Mike Tomlin was back. The Minnesota Vikings, LOL. That's all I have to say. The Minnesota Vikings counting on yet another quarterback to bail us out. It's just classic. Paul, I'm just trying to avoid this. I'm tired of being miserable. Aren't you? Aren't you?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
And why don't you do something about it, Paul? Have some self-esteem. Believe in yourself, man.
You can't just sit back.
You don't deserve to be treated like this. And I'm tired of seeing you accept it.
You can't just sit back and wait for it to come to you.
That's the best clip of the whole episode. That's the best.
That could be clip of the year potential right there.
Yeah, I'll put that out on social. That's pretty funny. I mean, total direct shots, cutting real deep, but like pretty funny stuff. Ziggy, I honestly I don't know if we're gonna have we might not be able to let you leave here, man. It might be off the table.
You
It
can
might be off the
kidnap
table.
me.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
I might go tie you down.
Yeah, we're gonna
Is that
go
all right?
over where are you technically saying? Could we call it a monastery? Like what?
Yeah, that's the
That's
name of the
cool.
building.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. If I were you, I wouldn't be surprised if you see like mid-August Jack and I at the monastery in Philly, and it's like and you see us walking with your supervisor, and you're like, what's going on here? He's like, no, Ziggy, you have to continue this. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. If he tells you have to do it, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I can't wait for? The day that Ziggy baptizes my first child. That'll be the best day of my life.
Jack, there's a good chance that Ziggy officiates our weddings.
Oh boy, you got.
Oh yeah, you're
7
right.
years is a long time from now, and I don't even know if that's going to be happening. But we can set all that aside and go to.
I don't know if I'll probably married in 7 years. Yeah,
all right.
Jack, I think you've got a chance.
I think we
Wait, Jack, I have a hypothetical. Not a hypothetical. I just have a question for you.
I love how
What's
you guys.
happening
I love
first?
how both of you guys ask each other permission to ask the other one a question.
Well, it's because Jack and I are friends who respect each other and treat each other with dignity.
Yes.
Jack, what's going
Let
to
me hear
happen first? Paul gets married, Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl. Because it's basically the same thing.
I have to go. Paul gets married because
It's
I'm assuming,
close, though, right?
but I'm assuming that in our lifetime, Paul will be married. I don't know whether it's to a girl or a guy, but I don't know if the Vikings will win a Super Bowl. So I got to go. Paul getting married.
Yeah, I mean it has to. Like it's basically
be,
it's basically you're saying like will Paul get married is the question.
Yeah. It's like will Paul get married? So I mean I got to go with yes. Now
Yeah.
parlay me and Paul both getting married, or the Vikings win a Super Bowl.
Oh well, Jack, you've got to walk. You're locked. I know.
That's a
the
lock.
club in LA is the perfect place. I saw that picture you sent.
Yeah, you just saw that. I got Riz.
It's like Kendrick says, right? You come to LA for the 3 W's.
That came for the four W's.
What's the 4th W?
I don't even know what the.
I don't know the 3 W's. I was just playing.
The women, the weed, the weather.
That's what I was there for. That's what I was there for.
Jack knows.
This girl actually swindled me pretty bad, though. She just wanted a drink and then she walked away.
That's how it happens.
That's not a shock.
It happens.
All right, let's wrap the show.
All right, yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Okay, we'll be back next Tuesday. Yeah, I mean we're getting close to go time here. Yeah, I mean this is like it's really not that far out, and then once the season starts, this is again it's a shame that Ziggy won't be along for the ride this year, but we're really happy for him and where he's what his future is going to hold. That'll be really fun, but it should be, I mean, a really, really fun year for the show. We have some really exciting opportunities that we're working on. I think we're going to have a lot of guests coming on the show in the future. Hopefully some big names. Twitch opportunities should be great. I think we're going to record more often. Like it's in a great spot. It's a shame Ziggy can't be along, but yeah, like it's almost go time here. So the next couple of weeks, again, we'll probably close out July. Just to give you guys, if you've stuck around for an hour 20, you're the people who should be listening to this CTA or update. The next couple weeks, next week we'll have 2 shows, Tuesday, Thursday. The following week, maybe 2. We'll definitely have on Thursday, July 30th, will be the Ziggy decision show. And I think that will be, so that'll be Ziggy's send off, but I'll also be home that week in New Jersey.
Oh,
yeah, I'll be home that week.
Old studio send out.
Yeah,
well.
Studio send out. That'll be really exciting. So at least 3 episodes there. We will then take off the week of August 2nd. I'm going to be away on my vacation, and then August 9th. That week we get back into gear, and that's preseason and training camp, and so yeah, for the next couple weeks, we'll have probably 3 to 4 shows. The decision, week off to start August.
The
and
decision.
Then, yeah, week off to start August.
This is it. This is how we frame it.
And then,
What's the better? Is this more hyped than LeBron? What's the more hyped up decision, LeBron James or this?
LeBron by a little.
A little bit, you think?
Because no one really thinks I'm going to stop being. Actually, no one really thought LeBron was going to leave the Cavs either.
Well, I'm talking about this LeBron decision. Like, it's down to like the Warriors and the Cavs, and then I think there's a bunch of other teams that are kind of throwing their hat in the ring.
No, Ziggy's more important than this LeBron decision. I'm talking like the original LeBron
the decision. That's
the decision.
That
you think that
takes
tops
slight precedence. Yeah,
that tops Ziggy's decision.
Paul, do you think we could get the Ziggy decision in a live 1 hour special on FS1?
We might be able to get it. We might be able to get it streamed on Wisconsin news, like that, like Wisconsin sports. Like, would I be shocked if in Green Bay they had like during the local 11 o'clock news they kick it to sports and I'm like, well, the decision was tonight.
Because he's coming to the tax
in the same sense that you're seeing Timberwolves fans are talking about LeBron, Nuggets fans, like Packers fans are going to be talking about like this is it for like Ziggy's coming over. Packers fans will be talking about it. Rams fans, if they exist, will be talking about it. Vikings,
Lions fans. I mean, I've been so high on the Jared Goff train. Jared Goff's my boy.
I think that in a lot of ways, Vikings fans here are similar to the Cavs, where we're like, there's no way we're losing this guy, dude. Maybe even some Jets fans are like, maybe there's a shot he comes back. Right now, I'd say it's a 3-team race between the Vikings, the Rams, and the Packers.
I'm just saying,
I'd
just
throw
like how
Philly
the
in there
76ers have come in to insert themselves in the LeBron
If it's Philly,
I'd throw Philly in there too.
I'll throw it.
Don't count out the Eagles.
I think it's a 4-horse.
Ziggy picks.
I think it's a 4-horse race.
Jeez. All right, we'll wrap up there. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. And the decision looms.